Hey guys, Tommy here. I want to do another update on Monero for you guys. I'll do kind of a market update, let you guys know what's going on there, and then just give you guys a little more insight into the market at large and some of my thoughts beyond that, as well as looking some of the alternatives to Monero, some of the other anonymous cryptocurrencies. So the first thing, again, looking at the chart here, to keep it simple, it looks really healthy and still looks like it's geared to go up here. We can see we've had these three waves that have been extremely similar in the past couple weeks, and I've been watching the charts, the volume, and the market depth is also really important to keep your eye on as well. We're really lucky that Monero has almost all its volume on Poloniex, so you can see what's going on here. And of course, you know, whales can manipulate the market depth that you see here, and you'll see that sometimes. You'll see huge buy walls come up or predictable patterns in the buy or sell walls that look like someone's manipulating it. That was going on with Ethereum Classic. I was observing that. So I am paying attention for that and looking for that. But I mean, this looks pretty organic to me. The one thing I will note is that the market depth on the buy side doesn't look quite as strong as it was in the past around, you know, the first two surges. So I feel like the buying pressure is starting to lose just a little bit of momentum. That doesn't mean much though, because as we go higher in price, we can attract more attention and that can be revitalized. You know, last night the market depth was looking incredibly strong, so it kind of fluctuates here and there. Just keep that in mind, but it's definitely a good thing to keep an eye on. Also, you know, just watching the buy orders and sell orders, you kind of get the hang of it after you watch it for a while. So that being said, once again, it looks bullish. I feel very confident that we'll pass these all-time highs, assuming there's no enormous negative news or something like that. Then we should just continue to move up here. So I'll show you here too. Here's if you go to CoinMarketCap and you go under Monero, you can see where all the volume is. So here's Poloniex and 98% of the volume. So virtually all the volume is going on here. Again, it just makes it super easy for seeing what's going on. And these other exchanges are typically just arbitrage. There's really not much going on there. And this, of course, is Poloniex too, actually. All right, so that's what I see going on in the market. If you guys are wondering, that's my perspective. And one note as well, right now Monero is 5th on CoinMarketCap, and we're pretty close to 3rd. I feel like when Monero takes 3rd place, that's another psychological shift for people, that they kind of realize, oh, this is something powerful, and they start paying more attention to it. So I feel like that's going to add a little bit of buying pressure too. So we'll see how much of an effect that can have. It's hard to say at this point, but it could be big. It may not make much of a difference either. And then, yeah, just to reiterate, so again, this is similar to the last period we were in. I made a video about a week ago, right around here, I think right before it took off. And I'm kind of reminded of, this little section that we hit with these lows really remind me of these lows here. So I feel like we are coming out of the cool-off stage, and we're going to be surging again. It's hard to say exactly when. I would say likely within the next week, perhaps a lot sooner than that, very likely in the next 2 weeks. Again, assuming no negative major news comes out, I think Monero is geared to take off more. And so just an important note on that as well, to kind of discuss the fundamentals behind Monero. Monero caters to people who want privacy, and there's a lot of people who are interested in that, but a big part of that are the dark markets. The dark market sales are around $1 to $2 billion a year. That's quite a large amount of money, and keep in mind Monero's market cap is currently around 200 million. I feel like a lot of these participants in dark markets, and again, people who just want privacy, aren't going to be cashing out their Monero. They don't want people to see how much money they have, and Monero conceals that. So I think we're going to see a lot of people holding on to their Monero. So this market cap, 168 million right now, is definitely not enough to sustain billions of dollars being maintained in Monero, and I could see that. So that being said, I say Monero has a very bright future. Just by the demand in the dark markets alone should push up the price, could push the price past $1 billion market cap, but people holding on to it, not trading it for other cryptocurrencies, just hanging on to it as an asset, you can see it go into the billion-dollar range, multi-billion-dollar range, and eventually passing Bitcoin. Now this is far-sighted, of course, but that is the direction how things are going. People want privacy. Will it be Monero or another anonymous cryptocurrency that takes that crown? It's hard to say at this point, but I do have a lot of faith in Monero. Let's see here. And on that note, yeah, keep in mind as well, you know, Monero it's proven itself over the past couple of years. There's a lot of other anonymous cryptocurrencies, and this is what happens whenever you see bubbles like this. Same thing happened after the Bitcoin bubble in 2013. You see a lot of, you know, other cryptocurrencies pop up right after that have these big promises, you know, and again, I saw this almost 3 years ago. Then you're seeing it again. You see a lot of these other anonymous cryptocurrencies, and some are getting some pretty high volumes. Shadow Cash, there's Navcoin, and I like to see what else is out there. So I've studied these, and I've kind of been paying attention to them too. But keep in mind, Monero has been proven. It's proven itself for years, and these other, you know, I want to say hype cryptocurrencies that have these promises or just came out with a new technology, just be extremely leery. They are very, very high risk. So as far as competitors go, I'm sure you guys are, you know, wondering my thoughts on that. I've looked at them: Shadow Cash, Navajo Coin, Bullberry, Aeon. There's a couple others too. It's actually really funny. There's one here, Blackcoin, which I think actually has a pretty cool community, but just because it has the word black in it, look at it, went through a little pump here, but it's not anonymous at all. So it just kind of tells you the market sentiment that people, you know, are pumping these alternatives to Monero. So looking at the actual most potent alternative to Monero, I would say would be Aeon. This is the Reddit metrics for Aeon. This is one metric that I use, and it shows the growth of communities on Reddit. Aeon is the dark blue one, and then Bullberry is this light blue one. Shadow Cash is this gray one right here, and then the green one is the Navcoin, you know, Navajo Coin one. I know this isn't everything to look at, but the reason why I look at the Reddit metrics is because it's a good indication to me of community growth. And I know communities can be in other places too, but truly, I think Reddit is a really good place for discussion and a good reflection of it as well. And I've noticed basically what I want to point out here is it's certainly not the only metric I use, but it indicates to me if something is a red flag. So if you look at the gray line here, this is Shadow Cash, or, you know, Shadow Coin, now called Shadow Cash. But you can see this gray line, it had almost no growth for a year. It's kind of a red flag to me. It took off here recently, you know, great. It's getting this attention because it pumped from about 1 million market cap to 10 million, but really there wasn't much going on either. Bullberry had pretty cool implementation, but the dev left, so you can see kind of like died off there. And it has a new developer now, but I mean, who knows? And then Navajo Coin has a very small community here on Reddit. Aeon, on the other hand, it's the dark blue line right here, and you can see its community is growing pretty well. It actually goes past beyond here. This was, it used to be called Aeon Coin. But you can see the community is growing in a healthy way. Here's Monero for reference, and this is actually one of the reasons why Monero appealed to me. You can see the community's just been growing organically, and I feel like this is something, it's one of the things I look at. It represents a bright future for the cryptocurrency to me. So if I were to pick an alternative to Monero, I would, at this point, I would say Aeon, based on the research I've done. Yeah, but again, I would say it's very high risk. So, you know, tread very lightly. I'm not endorsing it, or certainly not saying you should invest in it or anything. Do whatever you like. But I just want to provide my feedback because I've seen people in the comments talking about other alternatives. So this is what I'm seeing as the best alternative. And keep in mind, Aeon is only listed on Bittrex as well. It's not on Poloniex, so kind of a smaller exchange there. If it were on Poloniex, it would probably have a lot higher market cap, closer to around 10 million. And right now, I believe it's around 1 billion. Let's see here. Here we go. So, yeah. But that does seem to be the most promising to me, the most promising alternative to Monero. Once again, though, I feel Monero is the safe route here, you guys, and it looks like we're gearing up for another surge. So again, sometime very likely in the next week. It looks like it's taking a little longer for this cycle, which again, I can understand because we're moving into higher market cap, so it may need a little more time to build up strength to do that. But we should see that sometime in the next, in the next week or so, 2 weeks at the latest. So that's it, guys. Just wanted to get my thoughts out there for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. As always, if you like the video, please hit that like button. I appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, keep you guys updated. Be well. I'll talk to you then.